Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you with 100 Miracles in 100 Days project. And boy, do we have a cracker of a miracle for you today. And the Effortless Manifesting and Awareness Activation Quickie. And I'm going to share with you a little effortless manifesting of my own towards the end of this. But to begin with, let's just take a big breath in, or as big as you can for those of you who struggle to breathe. But just follow the breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth with a little bit of sound or a sigh to let go of everything outside this moment. I'm so excited to share today's miracle with you. Something huge happened yesterday, so but it happened as a result of all the love I experienced on the weekend. So just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as best as you can until you feel your awareness shift back within you. And you can return that to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm going to do a really, really quickie awareness activation today because I really want to speak to you about the fifth dimension today. So bring your awareness into your body, please. And throw everything you know about your body to be true out the window or out the door into another room, if it's snowing or where you are. It's raining here, but Mike can still go out and get a dose of beautiful rain. So cleansing and purifying. So all of your height, weight, shape, skin color, eye color, hair color, all of that stuff that we've been made to believe that that's who we are. What a perfect way to move you away from your greatness by having you focus on what you look like. Toss it all out the window and breathe, please. And now bring your awareness into your identity. Name, address, phone number, occupation, house, car, kids, cats, dogs, pets. Toss it all out the window. And see if you don't feel lighter without carting all of those stories around with you. And now bring your awareness, please, into all of your feelings, emotions, and opinions and toss them out the window or out the door and breathe. Now, those of you who have just landed here today, that for me is like breathe into all of my feelings, emotions, and opinions, and as I breathe out, I just imagine I'm tossing them all out the window. I have a burp coming up, which is a sign of how powerful the energy is coming in today, because I've done nothing but drink water this morning. So, and now please bring your awareness into your thoughts, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your superconscious mind. Sorry, not your superconscious mind, your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your conscious mind, and toss them all out the window, out the door as well. Your superconscious mind's allowed to stay because that's the one that's infinitely connected to your heart and to all that is. Breathe. Now please bring your awareness into your heart, your beautiful, beautiful, kind, loving heart that may be buried underneath a whole pile of heartache and heartbreak and heart walls, and we want to toss them out the window or out the door as well and breathe. See if you can sense yourself getting lighter and lighter. And again, I haven't mentioned this, but if you're new and you've just landed here today, strongly recommend that you go back and listen to the first awareness activation, or just stick with us, you know. Stick with us and see what comes up for you. Now please bring your awareness into anything and everything that is out of alignment with your infinite wealth and abundance that exists in every one of your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres, and toss them out the window, out the door as well. So all lack and limitation, all poverty consciousness, all scarcity and struggle, out the window, out the door, and breathe. See if you can sense how much lighter you are without that little 1% piece bugging you daily usually, especially if there's a lack of finances. 100% of our energy goes on to the 1% lack of finance instead of putting 100% of our energy on the 99% untapped pure potential, which is where the abundance will show up from. So just breathe. Now just please bring your awareness into any shame or blame or pain and struggle that you have in your life, and toss them out the window, out the door as well. As we mentioned yesterday, shame is one of the lowest vibrating energies on the planet. Lower than anger, because at least when you're getting angry, you're going to start doing something about it. To locate that, seek and find, gather and bind all of the shame and all the places you blame someone else for what's going on in your life, and toss it all out the window or out the door and breathe. And now please bring your awareness into all fear, all anger, and all rage. And sometimes we have that going on and we don't even know we've got that going on. But some signs might be, if your liver is sore, that's a sign you've got some anger somewhere. If you're having problems with skin rashes, that's another sign. And fear usually stores itself in your kidneys, but just know it can also be in your heart or anywhere else as well. So just seek and find, gather and bind all fear, anger and rage, and toss it out the window or out the door. And see if you can sense the infinite awareness, which is another name for that is your pure God source, your pure Goddess source, your God Goddess within, divine I am presence, highest self, supreme intelligence, divine oneness. 380 different names for God, just choose one that you like. Breathe into that. And let that 99% untapped pure potential, pure God source wake up in your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres. Bring that. Bring your soul and all your magnificence to the forefront of your being, and push your personality and ego to the back. My experience is when you tap into this magnificent being of light you always have been, the ego takes a back seat anyway, because it's no longer frightened. It can feel the magnificence of who you are, and it shows up as the perfect servant to your master, and your master being your divine I am presence. Or it is sometimes called awareness, God, etc., etc. Just breathe. And I want you to continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose while I share with you this fantastic fifth dimension miracle. I was having trouble trying to find one, just one, because there's like hundreds of them. I've been working in the fifth dimension since 1997 when Spirit first taught me how to connect to the fifth dimension. And I think I mentioned somewhere in the last couple of days about the very first step of the first step in connecting to the sun, and it took me weeks just to work that out. So let's breathe. So as I've also mentioned, I did this fantastic workshop on the weekend where there was like over 10,000 healers there. And the main aim was to get to love and above. And the energy was extraordinary. And it was so extraordinary, it has changed my focus for this year. And then last night, I don't know, maybe it was getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning, or maybe it was Spirit confirming. So yesterday I mentioned to someone that I'd had this shift and that I was no longer going to work with, most of my courses cost between, $15,000, $20,000 and $100,000. But it means that I can only get to a small number of people. And it became really abundantly clear to me over the last couple of days since we finished this Love and Above program that I really, really must bring back my fifth dimension teachings. I felt like I'd outgrown them. But what I do see, and I see often, is so much rubbish around about the fifth dimension. There's even groups of people waiting for the spaceship to come save them. And they all cite them, and then they're pissed when they don't come pick them up. Which, of course, there's lots and lots of more spaceships around at the moment because they're trying to encourage people to wake up inside themselves. I just find it hilariously funny that they get upset that they're not picking them up, and they don't get that it's that they're not meant to be leaving in the spaceship, that they're meant to be awakening the fifth dimension within them. But, I say this jokingly, but seriously, when I first worked in the fifth dimension, I don't even think Google was around then, but I put it in the website search, and myself and one other person who didn't even do fifth dimension, they were the wing ones, came up. Now you can type in fifth dimension and like 130 million references come up in less than 10 seconds. And most of it's rubbish from what I can see. So I'm back in the game. And the other reason I'm back in the game is this. So I just mentioned, it became very clear to me that my calling, and Spirit's been asking me to do this for some time. They've been asking me to put my fifth dimension activation into an online course and teach masses of people how to do it, because it really is the way of the future. And I was like, no, only because I don't like computers very much, and because I've tried doing online courses and I've tried getting help from people to do online courses, and it's just never worked out. So it just seemed like it wasn't the right path. But yesterday I mentioned to someone that I'm going to pre-sell my fifth dimension course. That normally, when we ran it as a fifth dimension course in my temple, it was $5,995, and that was over a decade ago. But we are going to pre-sell the course for $2,222 to the first 10 people that sign up for that. There'll only be 10 people in this pre-course. And after that, the price will be $2,888 because it's already massively discounted at $2,888. And this person said, I'm in. I've got the money here. I can send it to you now. All I did was tell her that. I have the course outlined in my head because I know the fifth dimension like the back of my hand. I know exactly what we will teach in that 10-week course and how we will teach it. It's just how I'll get it online in an online course that I need to do some work on now. But that's a sign that you're doing the right thing. And so, I'd already made my mind up. I wanted to get to more people. I just didn't know that was the way I was going to do it. I thought I would be running some big courses, like a big course, like a 30-week course, you know, that would be around $15,000-$20,000 for the advanced people. Well, I've changed my mind on all of that, or sources changed it for me. The other thing that made it really pertinent was last night I got some intense pain in my heart, which I've been having little bits of pain, but I just ignored it. I thought it, you know, like I am in my 60s. I consider myself to be a really healthy person in my 60s. Nobody ever guesses my age there except, you know, my hair's falling out, my teeth are falling out. No, not really, but, you know, I do have snow white hair. But it was, oh, the rain's coming in, how gorgeous. And I just put it down to getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning and for 4 mornings in a row, and then kind of like dragging my bum around for the rest of the day, trying to catch up on sleep, get to bed early. When I'm not someone who normally goes to bed early, I normally go to bed at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, and still get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, but it seemed to really muck me around a little bit. So I didn't do too much about it, but last night when I laid down, I got some intense pain in my heart, and I was like, ooh, this is new. And so I just, if you might remember, my spiritual healing career started when I stopped a woman dying of a massive heart attack by simply placing my hands on her chest, and it was documented as a miracle so she could leave the hospital. This was back in my early 20s, because all of her blood tests showed she'd had a massive heart attack, and all of her heart functioning tests showed she had the heart function of someone in their early 20s, which was my age at the time. So I'm already aware, and I'm aware that the fifth dimension can heal anything because it's a different frequency. Disease and illness do not exist in the fifth dimension. So I just place my hands on my heart, connect to the fifth dimension, start pouring energy into my heart. I thought it'd only been 10 minutes, but I woke up, I got up and turned my phone on and said to my best girlfriend, hey, this has just happened, you know, and if I don't wake up in the morning, you know, just know that I love you and I'll be bugging you and sending you miracles from the other side. By the time I'd finished, I knew that wasn't going to happen. She goes, oh, hell, that's terrible, blah, blah. And I went, no, it's fine. She goes, how will I even know you've gone? I went, because I'll be bugging you from the other side. And I have absolutely no fear of dying. But I just kind of was like, God, I've just really worked out what I'm meant to do. You can't possibly be taking me home now. Anyway, I just sat. And it ended up being, when I looked and I turned the phone on, I went, oh, my God, I must have been doing it for at least over an hour. But who cares? My heart is just so powerful and strong this morning. My whole body is so powerful from just giving myself probably an hour to 2 hours of fifth dimension healing. I feel I'm sitting up heaps and heaps straighter. You know, I just feel like I'm 22 years old again, and I don't know, I'm in my 60s. I've stopped counting. I tell everybody I'm 44 years old now when I have a birthday. And I think I've been 44 for at least the last 3 or 4 years. So I think when I turned 60, I started telling everybody I was 44 years old, so, because I love that number. Anyway, so just breathe for me. So that's the power of the fifth dimension. And I have heaps of fifth dimension stories, and I'm going to share them now. But I just want you to know that if you feel called after listening to this activation or this fifth dimension miracle story, that this is the right next step for you. So it is on from the Reikis and the pranas and the theta healing, because it is actually about you activating the fifth dimension energy or light or source light, fifth dimension energy and beyond within your 100 trillion cells, and you will be able to do all sorts of magical stuff. Like, and I'm going to share some of those miracles over the coming days. So, but today I'm going to share about when I went to one of my students. Mark, his name was. He lived in Kangaroo Ground, and he'd asked me if I would come and look after his home while he and his lovely wife went on a holiday. And look, because they had dogs, and I can't remember if they had a pussycat then. I don't think they did. I think they had dogs and a nasty rooster called Brett and horses. Oh, the horses were amazing. The miracle I want to share with you was that it was Christmas Day. It was stinking hot, like over 40 degrees, 44 degrees, hot as anything. So damn hot that at 3 o'clock I put the aircon on so that I could roast my chicken, because that's what I normally have on Christmas Day, roast my chicken and have roast chicken for Christmas lunch or Christmas lunch dinner. By about, and in the morning, I picked a bunch of roses for my house, for the kitchen table, and a bunch of roses for the meditation room, where I meditated for 5 hours every day while I was there, because it was so quiet and peaceful. I lived in Melbourne at the time. And Spirit said to me, pick some more. And I was like, no, there wasn't a lot, because it was summertime. There wasn't a lot of roses out. It was hot. And I like, pick some more, Elle. And so I think I picked a bunch for the kitchen table. When they said pick some more, I went and picked some for the meditation room. But they were still hammering me, pick some more, Elle. And I was like, no, they're only gone a week. I don't want to pick all their roses. I'll just leave it. And they hammered me to pick them, and I went, no. About 4:30, just after I put my roast chook on, the sky turned, out of nowhere, the sky turned green, and this massive, massive hailstorm hit. And the hailstones were the size of softballs. And it didn't just come down for a little bit of time. It came down until the hail was at least 2 foot deep. Now, this is what you can do if you know how to connect to the fifth dimension. I immediately placed fifth dimensional gold light protection over the top of the house. They had a long, thin house, probably similar to the house I live in now. You know, like it was just a long, instead of it being square, it was more of a rectangle type house. I placed the gold light fifth dimensional protection over that. I also placed it, Mark's car, he had like a Land Cruiser, was out in the yard, and it had, it was under a tree, but I placed lots around that because I didn't know where the keys were to move it, and I wouldn't have known where to move it to, and I don't think I would have been able to reach the pedals anyway. So I just put lots of extra protection around that, and backed my car in as close as I could to Leanne's car, which was like under a little open shelter garage. Placed it all over the house, over the shed, over the little meditation gazebo that was out the back, and just knew that we would be safe and we would be okay. And it was massive. It was massive. Like, it hailed for about, I don't know, a long time, half an hour. And then when it had finished, the hail was still there like hours later. But guess what? All of the rose bushes were decimated. There wasn't a rose left in the damn garden. And that's why they were telling me to pick some more. But here's some interesting things about that day. I had put the fifth dimension protection along the house and the shed that was alongside of it. I didn't take it a little bit further over the shed. I remember protecting the horses and the horse sheds as well, because I knew the horses would be in there because of the hailstones. They were so huge. But I didn't go just that little bit further and protect the chicken coop. And when I went out to check on things when it finally stopped hailing, it's interesting that it's overcast and raining here while I'm telling you this story. I always find that fascinating. But anyway, and there's Brett, the nasty rooster, starts coming at me and attacking me. That's why they said to me, don't let Brett out of his cage. But when I went, oh, well, what are you doing out? The chicken coop had been blown over or knocked over in this massive storm that came from nowhere, 44 degrees, then boom, covered the whole thing. And we were basically, there was a few little tiny dents in the front of my bonnet of my car that are still there. And Mark had a few little, considering his windscreen and everything was vulnerable, he had a few little hailstone dents in his lovely Land Rover as well. But other than that, and the chicken coop falling over and me having to try and push the chicken coop back up and shove the rooster, Brett, back in there, who was attacking me, little bugger. Other than that, that's all the damage that we had. And there was like 2 foot of hailstones that didn't go away for a day or two. The next day, Boxing Day, you could hear all of these people throwing tin roofs and throwing stuff away and throwing stuff out the window. And I rang my other student who also lived in Kangaroo Ground, which was about 5 kilometres away, but it was probably, if you'd gone diagonally across straight to him, the way you had to get to the roads would be about 5 k's. It would have only been a couple of kilometres. And I said to him, how are you going? He goes, oh no, I've lost my veranda, I've lost my horse shed, I've lost my sheds, la la. It was terrible. I said, I don't suppose you remember to put up your 5th dimension protection. He goes, no, I didn't. I went, that's why you've lost everything, darling, you know. So, and I told Mark about this, and when he got back, and he, you know, we went down to have a coffee down at the Kangaroo store, and they must have thought I was bullshitting, because he says to the guy, oh my God, because there's all these holes in his tin on his veranda. And Mark says to him, oh my God, was it bad? And the guy at the store said, oh yeah, we lost 15 panes of glass. He said it was huge. He goes, that's just what's left of it. Damaged the whole roof, broke all the windows in the store and out the back. He goes, yeah, it was massive. So Mark was like, oh, thanks for protecting our house. But we were just, I said, you ask around. We were the only people that weren't, you know, decimated in it. That's the power of the 5th dimension. And that's what I've decided I want to share with as many people who are done healing stuff and ready to wake up the infinite magnificence that exists within all of you. So if you feel after listening to this, this may be your next step on the journey, on your journey, to learn how to empower yourself and empower others to step into the magnificence of who they truly are, then please reach out. I haven't done anything. I'm going to try and get a page done on the weekend, but you should know I've been teaching on the weekend today. I'll probably get it finished on the weekend. I'm not really good. I can build web pages, but I'm not really good at it. But I'm going to try and do that today. But you should know that I've been teaching in the 5th dimension since 1997. I'm one powerful old granny. I can stop. I can't remember if I've told you, but I use the 5th dimension to stop the fires, the horrendous fires in December 2019, January 2020, that took out millions and millions of acres and billions of our wildlife, that went on for like years, not years, weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm pretty sure I've told you that story. I'll check it out, otherwise I'll tell it tomorrow. But you have the power within you. I've helped people who are in the middle of a storm, put 5th dimensional protection up, and the storm goes around them. Help people in fires, the fire goes around them. But it's a powerful thing to learn, and it's not about waiting for a spaceship to come get you. And if you're ready to wake the 5th dimension up within you, and you would like to be part of my initial pre-course, I've got to move house in the next month, so it won't start before then, and that'll give me some time to get, to get it online. But so it'll probably start March, but it will be a first in, best served kind of basis. Those who pay first will be the people that get in first. So if you feel that this sparks your interest, there is 4 decades of testimonials on my website of people who have worked with me in the 5th dimension. And this will be the first step. We will teach you how to become how to activate the 5th dimension within you, and how to be a 5th dimension. You'll be a powerful 5th dimension activator, and you'll be certified, and you will be able to teach one-on-one other people how to activate the 5th dimension within you, if that's what you're interested in doing as the next step on your healing journey. So please do contact me via my website, www.elmaraseraphim.com. I am so excited to be bringing this work back to to the people on their healing journey who know it's about more than just fixing you, you know, because nobody really fixes anyone anyway. You just hold the space or the energy for those people to wake up and remember that they're powerful and can heal themselves. But this will happen a lot faster. And there's so many groovy things. Groovies are really old. You can tell my age. Groovy thing that we can do with the fifth dimension energy to help you with your finances, to help you connect to loved ones on the other side, to help you connect to your guides and angels, to manifest awesome stuff, to cleanse your aura and your chakra and all of that. Distance healing becomes a non-event really, because in the fifth dimension there is no time and space. There is no illness and disease, and there is no poverty consciousness. So just those three things alone is a good reason to want to learn how to get into the fifth dimension within your own being. So just breathe for me, please. And I just want to point out too, that price is $2,222 Australian dollars. So for some of you over in the US, it's going to only be about $1,500-$1,600 depending on what your exchange rate, your bank or whatever gives you. So absolute cheapest chips, because as I said, when I first began teaching it to other people, it was $5,995. But I want to set this up as an online course. You will have a lesson with me every week. Every week you have a lesson with me, and then we'll also have a Q&A or Ask Me Anything session as well. So 2 live sessions with me a week. You'll also, for the whole 10 weeks, get what we know to be our divine soul support. We don't know why this happens, but usually from the time people pay me, they begin receiving divine soul support, and stuff just sorts itself out. That's why we originally went online 10 years ago, because people would make an appointment and then face-to-face and then not show up because they were healed before they got there. So, but I still was just doing one-on-one stuff with people, and that's really been my niche for the last 10 years, is working with people one-on-one. But I've had a calling to go bigger and to help more people. I just didn't know how to do it by, an online course. And I'm guessing now that they're kind of like, this is what you're doing. Not guessing, I'm trusting that they're now going to bring to me the people that can help me set up this online course. So, but you should know that, as I said, it's $2,222 Australian. It's only going to cost about $1,500-$1,600 if you're from the USA. And you will be certified to teach this if you wish, or you can just do it for yourself. It will just change your own life in being able to connect to the fifth dimension. Know that no matter what is the matter with your body, even a heart attack, which I might have been having a mini one last night, even that, you will be able to know that you have the power within you to rise up into a higher level of light and fix that for yourself. I'm in my 60s. I haven't seen a doctor in, 20, 25 years. Breathe. Just breathe. This is the power that exists within you. You are so infinitely powerful. And it's no wonder that they have you focused on what you look like, how short or fat or tall or bald you are, because it takes away the infinite power that is you. It keeps you distracted. If you're focused on, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, then they've got you. They've so got you. Just breathe. See if you can feel that infinite being of light awakening within you. But as I mentioned, there's 4 decades of testimonials on my website. If you choose to come work with us, I'll ring you and have what we call is a discovery session just to make sure it's the right next step from you. If you've already worked with me and you decide this is the right next step, you probably won't need that, but we'll still have a chat. And yeah, I am so looking forward to serving more of you and building a fifth dimension community of people that understand that love and above is the only way for us to go. And if enough of us, we just need 80 million people to wake up and remember the magnificence of who we are, and we will flick that switch. You will flick that switch, and we'll all be living in the next 1,000 years, it might be 1,000 or 2,000 years of peace, prosperity, and abundance. And this is why you came here. This is why we all came here. This is one of the most exciting times to be alive on planet Earth. So if you would like to join us in 2023, I am so looking forward to working with you all. These will be done in small groups of people, just because I like working in small groups of people and I like to make sure that everyone's needs are met. So please, if you have any questions or if you're interested, if you can contact me through my website, www.elmaraseraphin.com, and hopefully I might be able to get a web page up about it today. Okay, listen to all the birds. They love it after it's rained. I'm so going to miss living up here on the hill. Alrighty, you gorgeous beings of light. Love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. I'm so looking forward to working with you. For those of you who resonate with what I've mentioned here, and I look forward to being of service to you all in the future. Love, 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 and bye for now.